All right, now we're talking. Star 83, D-Miller. Ruben Sanchez, what's the verdict? Demon. Irish Patty, what's up? What's up? DJ Silk Brian in the building. Salute, bro. What's poppin', y'all? Palado in the building. Salute, bro. Omerto Dawn 83. What's poppin'? Fly heads only views. Salute, homie. So whoop. Tsunami C. Yeah, man. First of all, I know everybody done heard of the news, and it's a touchy subject, man. So that's why I'm not even gonna really speak about it but in some, you know what I'm saying? I send my condolences to the Bryant family, and salute to the Kobe Bryant family, man, and the families that were on that helicopter that went down over the weekend, man. Salute, and let's give them a moment of silence real quick. You know what I'm saying? In honor of those who passed away in that accident. Yeah, more or less we lost a good one, you know what I'm saying? Not even a great one. But all those families in that helicopter were great too at the same level. They all mattered at the same. I mean, so condolences to everybody on that helicopter and the families of those people, man. Um, Today, basically, there's a lot of topics to hit upon, but I wanted to hit on one because, as y'all can see, you know what I'm saying right now, I gotta attend to my arm, so I gotta make sure. Well, actually, my elbow. I gotta make sure that I get enough rest. So I'll be doing little half-hour joints here and there. You know what I'm saying, but I don't want to let the people down. So even in bandages, I'm here. You know what I'm saying. I'm here to enlighten the brain. You know what I'm saying, to enlighten the minds. You know what I'm saying. I put it in for the peoples, y'all. That's a fact, DJ Shook Brian. Amen. Rest in peace to all 9 people and their family, Kobe's and everybody else. That's a fact. Um, oh, my elbow. What happened with my elbow was I chipped the bone in my elbow. I broke the bone off. I slipped going to my car, coming from work and shit. You know what I mean? And I had to get surgery and shit. But I'll be right back in action in about another week or two. You know what I'm saying? But till then, I got a recovery joint that I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So one of them is I gotta rest. You know what I mean? So I be trying to get as much as I can, although it be hard sometimes, man. You know, I be thinking about my peoples. Like, yo, what's up with my peoples? I gotta check out my Spartans, see how my Spartans is doing. You know what I'm saying? I gotta check out my peoples, man. My family up on right here. You know what I mean? So I said, yeah, let me take a little half and chill out with the peoples real quick. But I did have a topic, and the topic was about the importance of being a father. The reason I chose to speak about this topic is because somebody sent me a story, and the story that they told me was, for example, the mother the mother was dating her baby father's op, and when she was dating his op, it basically was a type of household where he was like the outcast because he didn't like the fact that the kid was the son of his op, and the way it was when, as the kid was growing up, you know what I'm saying, he was going through mad stuff, like they were doing him dirty. The ops kids was jumping him, and he was younger than them. They was jumping him and all that. He was going through it. You know what I'm saying? Like he was telling me that they would jump him and stuff, and sometimes when they all went out to eat, that they make sure that he ain't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or when the other kids got presents, they ain't give him nothing. You know what I'm saying? And for everything that they did, he always was the one that they punished. You know what I'm saying? So when he was telling me this, I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? That's type deep. You know what I'm saying? That's type deep. You know what I'm saying? Because here it is. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for this man. Salute, oh Bosley. Also Bosley. You're looking for this man to be your father figure. But instead, he already has hatred towards you. You know what I'm saying? That's type deep right there. I mean, now, let's keep it real. Who's to blame in that situation for the things that kid is going through? By show of vote, who's to blame in that situation? Okay, John M. I see moms. Mom's probably on drugs. Both. Jay Breezy said both. 32 Savage, salute, bro. Ruben Sanchez said the mother. Jay Breezy said gotta blame both. Ms. Geller said the mother. Now, I'm gonna tell you why. Even though it is in a way, it is in a way both, right? But I'm gonna tell you why it's the mother. Because the mother's supposed to protect the child where the father ain't there to protect them. For example, if the mother and the father decide to go their separate ways, there's no way the mother should let the child be basically abused or go through that type of setting, because the mother is supposed to protect the child from those type of things. And if the mother just denies the child because of the relationship she has with the individual, then she's not being the mother. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is that if they two live in separate places, there's nothing that the father can do, because he's not living in the household, so he can't really understand what's going on. But he can understand it from if the child is to tell him. But then, that goes to the courts. Now, what happens is when it goes to the courts and they say that the father only got visitation rights, you know what I'm saying? Then it's going to be more of a struggle for the father to actually prove this thing. Facts, Jay Breezy Farborough. Yeah, because Omicron was popping, bad vibes was salute. I see you, Henry 4625. Yeah, because what happens is the child, because the mother usually has possession of the child. The mother has to make sure that the child is protected in the household that she brings them into, or the household she creates by those she invite in. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is that if you're dating your ops, like, she shouldn't be. First of all, if she's dating her baby father's op, that's already telling you something ain't right there. You know what I'm saying? Already that's telling you something ain't right. Salute, see, I see you. See y'all Reed's in the building. William Maltier. You see what I'm saying? Like, these are things that are silent. A lot of kids don't speak about it. They keep it to themselves a lot and they harbor it. And then as they get older, they become more rebellious because of the things that they went through. Even though in this situation, the kid told me that he grew stronger with the kids that used to abuse him and basically like go down on him. He grew a relationship with them where they all now stick with each other. I guess they respect him because he was going out. You know, salute to him. But to have to grow up in that type of setting, in that type of household, that's crazy, yo. You know what I'm saying? So you always got to remember the deep part about that situation is that he had to cope with that situation. And you don't ever know how much trauma that can cause to the brain, because you're in a hostile environment, and the environment is hostile towards you, and it ain't even your fault. You didn't even do nothing. See what I'm saying? So you always got to remember these certain things, like you know, there's a big importance about being a father. You know, for example, sometimes when a mother goes and denies the father to see the kid, that's also a no-no. Because now what you're doing is you prolonging the fact that curiosity is going to cause that kid to seek to know who his father or her father is, that her mother went and denied him from. Lucifer Brim, hit my DM. Yeah, anybody trying to get the Wildcat shirts, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We got the 1B HCM. You already know how we do, man. Spartans in the building. Know what I mean? But yeah, yeah. So, you know, for the mother to let the child go through that, have the ops kids beating up on the child, and the child having to grow up in a hostile environment, that wasn't a mother. Not at all. Gemstone the solid. Yeah, I'm good, man. Had a little thing on my elbow. I'll be back in action in a minute. I'll be back in a minute. All right, I got you. I got you, Lucifer. So, you know what I'm saying? So the reason I spoke about this is because now I got a video coming out soon. It's going to talk about the juvenile justice system. And I'm focusing on the juvenile justice system because it's something that really never really got focused on. You know what I'm saying? All this time when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? When you went to Spofford, like I said, it was gladiator school. It wasn't a place where you learned anything. You only learn how to survive. And if your mentality is on survival mode, that's what happens. Ms. Geller says she should suffer the same fate that she put her child through. No mercy for her. That's a fact. I agree too. But you know, a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's too harsh. But to me, what's more harsh? An adult that goes through that situation, or a child to go through that situation? Brad Hauser, salute, bro. Brad Hauser in the building. Yeah, Jay Breezy, Farborough. I got the video on Spofford coming out. Yeah, I got that coming out real soon, man. We in the works on that right now. But you know, parenting, you see how they have that's a defenseless child. That's a fact. The child ain't got nothing to do with that, but the child's gonna go through that because the mother's gonna neglect the child only because of the relationship with that bozo. Yeah, I got all that coming, Jay Breezy Farborough. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I like to reflect upon, right, is when um fathering is something that's supposed to be fun. A lot of people don't know. Plus, you always got to give your child space. As the child grows older, you can't bombard the child, and you know, because as the child gets older, he's gonna want that little space to himself, because now he's doing independent thinking. Salute, Ladybug. Thank you, babe. Starting the $2 drive. I see you. Salute, Ladybug. Starting the $2 drive. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make sure that it's fun, but you also got to make sure you give him his space or her space. Because now that they're doing independent thinking, you know what I'm saying? They want you to see that the choices that made it are right, so they can get the accolades for it. You know what I'm saying? Henry 4625, he said, when children suffer trauma, well, their brain is still developing. Sometimes they don't bounce back from that. That is a fact. That's a fact. Sometimes they don't bounce from that, because in the back of their mind, they have hatred towards that type of treatment that they had to go through. It's a fact. Just like a slave don't want to keep getting whipped in the back. All that is grows rage and hatred. You see what I'm saying? And that becomes rebelliousness. That is one of the key ingredients towards rebelliousness. One of the key ingredients towards rebelliousness is the fact that you got this rage and inner hate because of the things that you had to go through, the suffering that you went through. Some people will be like, yo, if it didn't break me, it made me stronger. But not everybody's able to say that type of sentence. Boss Dawn 97. Yeah, man. I messed my elbow up, know what I mean? So I'm out of commission for a little hot second, you know what I mean? But I'll be back. I'll be back in a second. Splash Alka TV. Big up, bro. What's up? Ray Leon Reverb, I see you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So fathering is supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to be, you're supposed to relate. Some people get stuck in their ways and they don't know that they got to relate in some way, form, or fashion. If you don't relate, then y'all conversations ain't gonna be, you know, it's gonna be insecure conversations. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't feel secure talking to someone about something that they don't know that they know that the person don't relate to them in. They feel more comfortable saying, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I went down the hill doing this. Oh yeah, me too. Relate. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's one of those things, man, that you know, I'm trying to put together a book on fathering, because fathering is something that's not hard. I need the battery. Battery. Yeah, I messed my elbow up, man. Hey yo, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. Salute. Yeah. You know, all those parenting programs, they should have had those programs in Spofford back then. Because instead of us fighting with them staff, them dudes that was way older than us, that were grown ass men, trying to put little 13, 14-year-old kids in headlocks and put them to sleep. You got the little red marks coming all in your face. You know what I'm saying? Instead of all that going down, they should have had them type of programs in there, because they had the space for it. Yeah, I'm getting there, S Doc. I'm almost there. I'm getting there. No more punching the mattress. Yeah, nah, I can't punch the mattress, man. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, these are things that a lot of people should be conscious about, man. When they parents, you know what I'm saying. When they parents, they should be conscious of those type of things. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, sometimes those things go unnoticed, and that is the reason why you have kids nowadays that have issues, and the issues is because they can't speak about those issues. They don't feel comfortable speaking about them. That's number one, and number two is the fact of the matter that um, it's already past the point where now they harboring this type of feeling in their heart. You know what I'm saying? Best acid. Yeah, man. I'm taking all the calcium as I can. You know what I'm saying? Make sure them elbows are still strong, man. Vitamin D and all that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you'll be surprised, man. A lot of times when you're going through situations, you're going through situations where it's an issue of raising the child and in the circumference of where the child is being raised. You got to make spontaneous decisions, man. You got to make decisions where you know that the benefactor for that child is what's happening and not the detrimental stuff for that child. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was reading this thing today on the juvenile system, and they saying that the ratio from juveniles getting arrested and coming up is higher now than it was before. And then they closed that Spofford down. You know what's crazy? Like sometimes I look at the commercials on TV and I see where they looking to adopt kids and all that other stuff, right? And I say to myself, I'm like, damn, I wonder how much stuff that kid has gone through in that place alone, because it's like a jail setting. You see what I'm saying? Like they'll have a person in one of them spots, and it's like a jail setting for the kid because he's going there, he's meeting other new people. There's no parents in there. It's only a structure. Like you could be in a couch, you could be in a lounge chair, but wherever there's structure within the confines, it's the same thing. Like you put them in lockup. Hey yo, Estelle, you talk about John Denver, Tony Starks, who's popping, bro? I see you. Yeah, man. It's like this is a big issue now. I ain't gonna lie. Brett E, yeah, brainwashing, yeah. My 13-year-old in young offenders in UK. Yeah, wow, look at that. That's the same age I came through. That's the same age I came through. But now what happens is that if you don't got the proper programming in those places, the only thing you got is is FaceTime. And when I say FaceTime, is a bunch of people that's in a setting and all of them is looking at each other's faces all day. You know what I'm saying? That's all they're doing, looking at each other's faces all day. So these are things that I always try to remind people to look for. My daughter gives me a hard time sometimes, really bossy and hard headed at times. Yeah, you got a lot of girls, little girls are like that sometimes. But if you're resilient, you'll get through to her. Just don't give up on her. Make sure you don't do that, DJ Suge Bryant. I'm talking adolescent and juvenile, but more juvenile, you know what I'm saying? Because it starts from the essence. Where do these kids grow up to be, or where do these guys come from? What were they? That's a either or question. What were they when they were young, or what did they turn to later because of what they felt and understood when they were young? You know what I'm saying? Fact. Yeah, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? You always listen. Sometimes kids speak without moving their lips. They speak in their actions. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm a very analytic person. And I look at kids and their actions, and then I start to understand what they're trying to say. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I relate to them in that matter, because I was there too. I can't differentiate myself because of the time. I gotta relate because of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Whether you in a 4T model or a Ford Escort or Mercedes Benz, you're still in a car accident. See what I'm saying? It's still a car accident. Doesn't matter the type of car, the year, doesn't matter. You're in a car accident. My son think I'm too hard on him, so he's scared of me. I mean, he shouldn't be scared of you. He should respect you, but not be scared of you. But you should explain to him that the reason you hard is because you don't want him to fail, because his failure rests upon you. Chris Black, Queens all day. Salute Queens in the building. Yeah, DFY was crazy. That's why I went and snuffed on Mr. Biggs from Planet Rock at. He was in Pyramid House back then. Yeah. EY. I survived a car accident. My femur bone and hip broke. I had to turn. Oh, that shit went up so fast. I lost that shit. Hello. I want to see that again. I survived a car accident. My femur bone and hip broke. I had to had to walk again. My dad was there every step of the way. Jay Cartier. See, that's a pops. That's a father right there. You know what I'm saying? A father, a father's gonna hold his son's back, or a father figure. A father figure does it. Basically, a father figure is where the father fails, the father figure comes in, and he represents. You know what I'm saying? Because he has the same love for the kid. Where the father feels that he's gonna succeed. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it don't gotta be your own. It don't gotta be your own flesh and blood. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be somebody you love. And, you know, we all have love for people that are not our own flesh and blood. They're of all different stage people. Yeah. Facts. Facts. See how fun it is, DJ Suge Bryant? DJ Suge Bryant show how fun it is. Yeah, it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you got to remember when that child succeeds, and when that child gets through those obstacles, you get to pat yourself on the back. I did that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Ain't nothing like giving yourself accolades for the positive things you do that's only going to resonate even further. Matter of fact, there was a thing here. It says, a father is a man who expects his children to be as good as he's meant to be. Did you hear the knowledge in that? It says a father is a man who expects his children to be as good as he's meant to be, as he meant to be. So basically what he's saying, what he meant to be, he probably didn't succeed it. But that doesn't mean that he can't teach his son how to succeed it and show him the mistakes he made and why he wasn't there. Facts, as Doc, that's correct. Yeah, they got a new joint, I think, called Crossroads or something like that. They say there's no shame in fear. What matters is how we face it. What you teach your children, you also teach their children. So that's why it's so deep to know how to be a good teacher. Because your knowledge and your methods going to travel on. That's like when I was learning studying the law, I had to go through a lot of cases. But the reason I had to go through these cases was because I wanted to understand the strategy. I know the law, but now when you're a lawyer, you're trying to understand strategy. So when I was reading through these cases, I was reading through to see the strategy of the attorney as he was representing the defendant. But now you can see that you could go, and that case probably was from, who knows, 1985. And here it is, 2020, and that case holds merit because that strategy might be the strategy that you need to implement. Willem Cartagena, what about the kids that come from good homes? They still choose not to follow orders or rules and regulations. The regulations that parents set forth. I've seen a lot of kids come from good homes and choose the street. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that too. People that they was good money and they still chose the bad. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all ever seen it. On one day, I interviewed a train hopper. Basically, he was there in the dirt. He had his little campfire going on, and he was just there looking stressed out. Had his, he was sitting down or whatever. And he told me, he train hops for a living. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was, I kicked it with him for a while. I got an understanding from him of how he lives, how he survives. So he showed me how he had beans in a bag and whatever, And then after that, I was like, yo, I went to give him some bread. You know what I mean? I went to give him like, I don't know, it was like $40, $50. I was trying to give him some bread, and he didn't want it. You know what I'm saying? So it was weird that he didn't want it, but I guess he's so used to surviving and knowing how to get it that he doesn't want it through empathy. He don't want nothing that way. He wants people to look at him like everybody else. The only thing is that he's in the struggle, but he don't know that he's more deeper in the struggle because he risks his life hopping on trains for a living. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean the parents, parenting is a job, man, that takes a lot of patience and it also takes understanding. Wildcat says juvenile arrests are up. Well, it's because we can't touch or discipline our own kids anymore without fear. Or they are never taught. Yeah, but I don't agree with putting their hands on the kids, man. That doesn't do nothing but cause rebelliousness, Brett E. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could teach them, put on some gloves, man. Put on some gloves. Put some gloves and go in the ring. Put some headgear and all that. And you know what I'm saying? There you go. But if you got to put your hands on the kid to teach him, man, I mean, don't you look at the significance of that? That's the same thing you do to a dog. You roll a newspaper and you hit him in the ass. Bye. You see what I'm saying? Ooh, my parents were fucked up with me. When I used to get in trouble, they used to make me kneel on rice in the corner. Hold up. They used to make me kneel on rice in the corner of the house. I would never discipline my kids like that. I talk to my kids. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. I mean, there's a difference. You gotta remember there's a difference between disciplining and child abuse. You know what I'm saying? For example, you got a little baby, and the baby keeps going by the stove. You might take his hand and you might tap the hand a little bit and say, "No, don't do that." And then you got some kids they'll get mad and they'll keep trying to touch it anyway. You be like, "No, stop." And they'll keep touching, "No, stop." And they'll get mad, catch a tantrum, and cry. You know what I'm saying? And then you hold their hand back, and then you turn the stove on, and then you say, "See that? No good. It burns hot." And you take a piece of paper and you put it on there. And you let them see the paper burn on fire, and they're like, "Oh, I ain't never touching that." Yeah, that's a fact. Cat, we've been through a lot, been in a lot of places. This is why God has blessed us. We have suffered a lot. Life is looking up. Yeah, that's a fact. Would you believe Jay Breezy Farborough that sometimes you don't get it as fast as you want it, but you end up getting it when it's still good. You ever heard that saying? A lot of times you don't get it as fast as you want it, but you end up getting it when it's still good. Bum gone wash. My dad beat me. If I ain't answer, whoa, that shit went fast as hell. If I ain't answer, he started with hands. I was only 9 years old. That's what I'm saying right there. That's a slave. That's the slave master mentality. That's what the slave master used to do to the slave, bro. That's why I don't agree with that. I don't agree with hitting the kids. I don't think that's discipline. I think that's you trying to lock them in the mentality. You giving them no choice. Oh, my grandma was even more messed up. She would throw when I ran away. She would throw glasses of cups at me. And one time caught me in the head. Yeah, I be knowing about that. I be knowing about that. Yeah, I be knowing about that. OG Buckwild. I probably know. I mean, I remember a Buckwild from back in the days. You know what I'm saying? So, another thing, I was looking in the Bible, right? In Proverbs 22:6, it says, "Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it." You heard what that says? It says Proverbs 22:6. Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. That's because from the seed, if you start paying attention from the seed, you know what happens a lot of times? It's hard to earn a living nowadays. So the parents end up having to work. And that gives a lot of time for the child to be, you know what I'm saying, without any parents. You know what I'm saying? So now what happens is that when the child's there without any parents, he don't get to know the things ahead of time. He has to learn them through experience. And then people get mad at the child because they like, why he do this, why he do that. not knowing that the child didn't learn it before. He's going through that experience. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times people mistake a child going through an experience with a child doing something like he's doing it or she's doing it deliberately. That's one of the things that you got to differentiate when you're parenting. You got to be able to differentiate between when the child is only doing something because he didn't know or she didn't know and is experiencing it to learn not to do it, or they doing it out of spite. Gerber Hernandez, what's goody? The schools taught these kids to manipulate too. I want an iPhone, or I'm going to say X, Y, and Z to the school. They told me I can. Plus, a report makes more for social agency. Yeah, yeah. See, but see, again, again, when you're a chess player, you know the moves that a child can make. You know the moves that you're not saying that they're your opponent, but you know the moves that a person that could potentially be um divergent from the way you want them to be, what things they can do. You're supposed to have this already in the mind and be able to concept it before it becomes strong. Yeah, that's a fact, as Doc. Nobody should get hit and beat like that. You crazy? I don't know. But where does that come from? That comes from that's the slavery mentality. Like the slavery mentality. You know what I'm saying? You going some you got a lot of I was looking through the internet today. I saw a lot of parents, man, that got big cases for beating the kids to death. Some kids were shaking and they was only like a couple of months old. They got shooken to death. Some kids were beaten to death. Like I said, situations like with the kid that hit me up about his situation in the household. Yeah, Jay, that's a fact though, Jay Moneybags. After the 90s, you can't do that no more. They coming down hard now. They don't play that. But do they put them in a better place? That's a good question. A lot of times they don't even put them in a better place. They put them in a spot where it's a structure, and that's the same structure that you're gonna get when you locked up. So now what you did, you don't got the kid in a prison structure now. Got you, Brett E. Appreciate you, Dexter Morgan. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, children ain't hard to teach. You just gotta figure out the way to teach them. So if you give them enough attention, then you know that what things you gotta remodelize on yourself to be able to be a better teacher. You know what I'm saying? Because not all teachers are for everybody. So in order to make yourself adaptable, you gotta understand who you're teaching. Yeah, I seen kids cursing their parents and all that. I seen that happen. But at the end of the day, like I said, why did that kid curse that parent out? If that parent didn't teach that kid since he was younger not to do those type of things. Lucifer Brent 59. My family from Guyana, you get raised different with West Indian family. Oh, that's a fact. Lucifer Brim. A lot of my closest comrades are Guyanese, man. And they parents don't be hit. I never seen none of their parents do their kids like that. I knocked my pops out when I was 20 on Pennsylvania Ave for putting hands on my mom's. Your life. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fact, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I always look at it from that perspective, man. You got to look at it from a perspective of what the child encompasses. A child encompasses potential, ability, sensitivity, and emotion. A lot of emotions. I see the difference between my kid I spanked and my kids that I didn't. Mm. Pink Sugar in the building. Pink Sugar says she sees the difference between the kids she spanked and the kids she didn't. If I had a dad to beat me the way I would beat my child, if he or she violated, then I would have never made it to prison. I don't agree with that one, some cease. Hell no. HFC 300. A lot of them don't catch ACS. Nah, nobody should catch an ACS case because nobody should be thinking about hitting their kid. That's the reason why this segment is. That's the reason why we kicking it here. The reason we kicking it right now is because we're resolute in the factor of a child's stability growing up in environments where they gotta fear you in order for them to grow. They shouldn't have to fear you. You know what I'm saying? They should never have to fear you. But they should have all they gotta do is um respect what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And you can teach respect without having to enslave your child. Because when you do that, you know, when you do that, you know what I'm saying, that's what happens. Punch that like button on your way in. Make sure you let your presence be known, man. Let them know you up in here. We going on a music break real quick. Yeah, know what I'm saying? Let everybody go get a little smoke break or whatever, little drink break. Like I said, man, I'm a single dad of two boys. I could think of them being anywhere else but with me. Cold, cold world out here. Yeah, I feel you on that, Lane G. Sean Smith. Well, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, it's our children are important. I'm gonna tell you why. Our children are important. They carry your legacy. So you don't want someone that gotta carry your legacy to erase you out of that legacy because they can. They can never mention you because they ain't feeling you and you won't ever exist if somebody finds out later on and that if somebody even bothers to look. Your children are your legacy, so you want to make sure that you pass on your legacy to your children so that they can pass it on and always give you the respect for the things that you taught them. You know what I'm saying? Always want to make sure that you leave something behind in your child. Your child is gonna leave that behind in his or her child, and so on and so on. So in all actuality, your physical being may be dead, but your spirit stays alive in these kids because they passed on your legacy. See what I'm saying? That's how it goes. You know what I mean? So you always want to make sure that not only do you take the time, but you respect the opportunity to be able to teach your kids something in life. Because nowadays, man, these kids, they need us more than before. Mm. My son's therapist thought my son's therapist thought I was crazy for having my son living with his father. Later, he realized how warped his mentality was. Mm. Yeah, because they see those things. That's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be therapists because a parent is a therapist. Because the child is growing up with wants, needs, and curiosities. And we have to get into therapy to be able to understand how to get the answer to those things and how to react to when they do get the answer to those things. That's how much it's worth. Boys should be with their dads. I mean, I would say boys. I mean, I understand that too because I see a lot of boys get little mommified, should I say? Like they're a little bit sensitive because they're growing up with the moms, so they don't have that edge. You know what I'm saying? Growing up with the moms, so I understand from that point. But I think a child needs both parents because whether it's a female or a male, the male needs to know both perspectives so that he could be more adaptable towards the future of people that he meets. Because if you look at it now, a lot of people out here are relatable because they're not seclusive as they were before. If a man doesn't help raise his kids, the streets will. That's true, Miss Geller. The only problem is when he gets raised by the streets, you got expectations, and those expectations could be harmful. Yes, facts. GT Taurus 956. It's unconditional love from both parents. Oh, I broke my elbow. Talking about parenting, tomorrow I'm adopting my 20-year-old stepson. Him and my daughter have the same mom. She's locked up. Whoa, this thing be going fast. She's locked up, but I raised him since he was 10 years old. Salute. Salute DJ Suge Bryant, man. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Applause to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? That child gonna thank you for the rest of his life. And not only that, that child's teaching is gonna come from you. You're gonna be a role model in that child's life. So you guess what? Even when you pass away, there's gonna be people that's gonna have certain actions that you have because you passed it on to your child, and because he respected and loved you, he passed it on and continued that legacy to go on. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. GT Toy said I got that left hook and uppercut. That's a fact, bro. Now this was an elbow joint. This is all right. This gets heels in a minute. Question: What? This is the realest loud talking now. It's real topics. No doubt, Willem Cartagena. You know what I'm saying? So let's just let. I'm gonna conclude this because I gotta lay down right now because my thing is throb. My joint is throbbing right now. But I gave y'all an hour of my time, you know what I'm saying, to make sure we build, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't like to let the mind be without rest. You know what I'm saying? But salute to everybody that came in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for coming through. Appreciate y'all for coming through. And make sure y'all know that we're gonna be here tomorrow again, about the same time again, you heard? Once this stuff comes off my arm and all that, and I can get moving again and all that, then we're gonna get our party on. Hopefully by Friday, you know what I'm saying, I can throw down some red stripes, man, without the medication messing it up. You know what I mean? But for now, I just want everybody to know, man, salute, man. Yo, make sure that we become better for all the fathers out there. Make sure you make yourself a better father. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you know that you being a father to that child means you being a presence in the future in that child. That child's success in the future depends on your teaching, depends on your resilience towards being able to understand him and not judge him and not be mad at him because he doesn't accomplish certain things. You know what I'm saying? Facts, DJ Shook Bryant. Yo, for all of y'all that is trying to get the Spartans Wildcat joint, you know what I'm saying? Just hit me in the DM. I got you. You know what I'm saying? 1B, you know how we do HDM, man. We don't die, we multiply. You know what I mean? Salute to everybody in the chat. Stay up, stay lit, stay loved. You know what I'm saying? We out.